Howdy y'all, Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. Merry Christmas to you. Look at this, I've got this note with TFC's name on it that I drew from the Secret Santa list, but unfortunately, I can't bring him his present right yet because he is online right now. Now, I don't know if you know a lot about TinFoilChef, but when he is online, that is a bad time to sneak into his base. So, I've been thinking about what to get him, and a lot of you guys said that TFC is trying to work on more modern houses and modern structures. And that kind of got me thinking, you know, concrete is used in a lot of modern structures. And this wall here, when I was originally constructing it, I didn't do the mathematics quite correctly. My arithmetic was a little bit incorrect. And so this wall that's supposed to go all around the perimeter of the castle is supposed to be the same height as this part of the castle. So that way the guard people can walk from the outer part around the mansion here. You know, just like straight across that walkway. But as you can tell, this wall is too tall. It's 2 blocks too tall all around. You can see it, y'all. So, what I'm thinking is, I'll come through here, and I'll recover a bunch of this concrete, and then I will have plenty of concrete to give TFC for his, like, fancy, modern houses. Whoa, that's probably a bad place to have a fall to my death. So what I'm going to do right here, real quick, is to get this kind of cleaned up a bit. And I'm also going to talk a little bit today about an idea I had for a Christmas Doctor Who story. Because I like talking about Doctor Who and science fiction and my story ideas. And this is not necessarily anything that's ever going to be on the BBC. Because, for one thing, I'm not British. And I don't know if they hire non-British writers. But also, I don't know if I'm qualified to be a, Doctor Who writer. Hint, I am not. But anyway, I was thinking about it, and it's that time of year where, everybody starts thinking about Christmas and the holidays, and I was thinking about how after Christmas, in the story of the Nativity, Jesus and Joseph and Mary all had to flee into Egypt to escape King Herod, because the king was upset about the idea of this kind of like baby or whatever being some sort of new king. There's some sort of big prophecy, and everybody gets excited about prophecies except for the people in power, because like if you're in charge of something and everybody's like, hey, there's a prophecy that says you won't be in charge soon, people are like, nope, we need to shut that down right now. We don't have any tolerance for that kind of talk around here. And so King Herod basically says, okay, I'm going to shut down all this crazy prophecy talk by finding this baby and, killing him. So you've got this situation where this guy who has a ton of power is hunting down all these, like, families, because he doesn't know which one is, like, the one in the prophecy. In the same way, like in the traditional Christmas story of the Matrix, that Morpheus doesn't know who is, like, he doesn't know for sure that Neo's the one. He hopes Neo's the one, but he's been wrong like 50 times already, and a lot of those people died. I'm just kidding. All of those people died. And so, you got this whole opportunity here to, like, tell a story about a time that nowadays we're like, oh yeah, Christmas is the best time of the year. But back then, if you were, like, people are like, oh, I love Christmas when I have it, because I got a little kid and my kid loves Christmas. But back then it'd be like, no, like, this was the most terrifying time of year ever, because King Herod had all the young families, like, hunted down and possibly killed. So, it seems like there's a really good opportunity to tell a Doctor Who story about, the Doctor encountering some of these families as they are being hunted by King Herod or the other people who are in league with him. Now, famously, in the Nativity story, the Holy Family, if you will, which is the fancy name for Jesus' family, it's not the fancy name. Like, it's funny because that's like, they're supposed to be super humble and everything, but it's like, oh, one of them's a carpenter, and the other one, I think Mary was unemployed. Like, they never explicitly say, like, if she had a job. But it's like, other people are like the Jones family. But these guys, no, they're the Holy Family. And it's a lot harder to keep up with the Holy Family than the Joneses, as King Herod would learn. So I was thinking about it, and I was like, well, what if you had the Doctor, like, stumble into, like, an Egyptian border town, right around this time period when everything is going nuts and there's people that need his help. Because, like, a lot of Doctor Who episodes are structured around the Doctor not being where he's supposed to be and people needing his help. So I thought, like, who would be a good partner for this, or companion? Like, because in some episodes they have, like, a running companion, but I was thinking for the Christmas special they usually have, like, kind of a one-off historical figure or somebody they made up. So I was looking, and there's actually some famous Greek astronomers or physicists that might be a good kind of fit for this. Because I was thinking, like, what if the concept is that the Doctor was at, like, a Poseidon's solstice party in Greece, right? So in in Greece, they would traditionally celebrate the solstice as a feast day of Poseidon, the god of the sea. Whereas, like, nowadays we celebrate the solstice as a holy day of Jesus, the god of everybody. Yay. So then it's kind of like you would have, like, the Doctor's at this party with this Greek physicist or whatever, and says, like, oh, you think you know how to throw a solstice party? Well, you should see how the Romans do it. And he tries to take him to a Saturnalia party, and the TARDIS misfires and dumps them onto, like, the Egyptian-Israeli border around the time of the first Christmas. And I was thinking, like, because they've only shown the Doctor drunk once, and I think he was kind of pretending to be drunk. Now, it's a kid's show, so you don't want to go too nuts with it, but, having him being a little goofy when he first stumbles out of the TARDIS with this Greek physicist could be fun. Let's see. Let's go ahead and eat some of this bread so we don't starve ourselves to death. So, what I was thinking was having the core concept be that, let's see, having the core concept be that, like, they stumble, like, out of the TARDIS in, like, what seems like a traditional alleyway scene, because there are certain times when the TARDIS lands and it's, like, in an alley or something, but it's nighttime and there's, like, clay building behind them or whatever, and the Greek physicist says something along the lines of, like, like, looking up at the sky, like, are you sure that this is the solstice? Because these stars seem a little bit strange, even for Rome. Like, I think that this might be January or February or something. And the Doctor's looking up at the stars too, and then they both kind of fall off a roof through an awning onto, like, two people, and those people have, like, spears, and were, like, threatening a man and a woman with a donkey and a baby, and the Doctor, starts apologizing, and, you kind of have something where, like, the Doctor looks at the spears, or one of the spears that's been knocked over, and it's got some sort of weird glowing alien tech or whatever, and, so he can use his sonic screwdriver, because, it's not a Doctor Who special if you don't use a sonic screwdriver at least once, but he could use a sonic screwdriver to, like, detach the spearhead from the spear and be like, oh, this is interesting, and then kind of, like, try to tap two of the spearheads together, and they, like, magnetically repel each other. Like, this isn't, like, from anything in terms of Doctor Who lore. There's not, like, a specific repellent spearhead that I could think of, but, like, I was thinking, like, what would be, like, a low-level technology that the Egyptians would have that I could combine with an alien technology for the concept or the premise of this episode? And spearhead plus weird repellent magnetism kind of ended up being one of the kind of sweet spot technologies. So, he's just like, oh, this is interesting. And he's looking up at the building they just fell off of, which is, like, only a 2-story building because, it's a border town, in 2,000 years ago. But something along the lines of, dang it, like, oh, wow, it's going to be a little bit of a climb back up there, and, whoa, speaking of which, that's a little bit of a drop down there. Having some sort of element where, he's just like, him and the philosopher are looking up, or philosopher, physicist, astronomer, I don't know. I'm working a lot of this out kind of as I talk about it, but having the idea being that they realize that they're gonna have to climb back up to get back in the TARDIS, and where was I? Climbing up here too. So the Doctor has some sort of like ribbon or something he pulls out of his pocket, and he's just like, "Oh, hold just a second, excuse me," and he like touches the ribbon to his wrist and then wraps the other end of it around one of the guards, and then like completely sober now. And he's just like, that's some sort of hemato transfer ribbon or something. It's provided for designated drivers on I don't know. I'm trying to think of the name of a planet that I could make up. Yavin 4 I think is taken, so I don't want to use Yavin 4. But he might say like Laconix 7 or Hermitcraftia 8. I don't know. But because I don't know, it just seems like there's a good opportunity to have the episode start with the Doctor being really extra goofy, and then have him be less goofy, and then have the guards be left lying there drunk instead of being like, just concussed. Because, I mean, you can concuss somebody pretty good, but the problem is that when they wake up, it's going to look like you concussed them really well. And if you're trying to avoid, like, arousing the suspicion of guards, you should probably not concuss people visibly. You should find a way to make it look like they concussed themselves in some sort of drunken foolishness. So, just some thoughts on that real quick. But yeah, that's also not like a device I've seen in another episode of Doctor Who. That's just something I thought like would fit the Doctor Who theme of like, well, we've accidentally already knocked these guys out, so we might as well make it look like it's their fault, you know. Doctor's not really big on killing lots of people. But man, for a character who's not big on killing lots of people, like, side note, he kills like a lot of people. You know what? If I have to climb back up here, I don't remember exactly where the ladder was. But we can worry about that in a bit. So I think I'm going to go ahead and knock out more of these blocks. But yeah, so I was thinking like the man and the woman could like ask the Doctor to escort them through town, like pretending to be a merchant or something because of his clothes. And then he would, of course, he'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'll help you. I'm very curious about blah blah blah." Anyway, but then, of course, as soon as they ran into the next group of guards, the Doctor would immediately, like, try to get introduced to their leader and get everybody thrown in jail because he wants to learn more about the weird technology in the spearheads. But, anyway, like, yeah, eventually I was thinking maybe the Doctor could do something to reverse the polarity on whatever's powering the spearheads. And then, I don't know, have all the spearheads fly toward whatever generator is, doing that. And then something. I don't know. This is a very loose idea for a Doctor Who episode. This is what happens when I plan to make a video about giving TFC gifts, and he's online at the time. So if you guys are enjoying this, you can feel free to thank TFC for being online. Although realistically, if I am going to give him concrete powder as his primary gift, I wouldn't have actually collected it yet. So maybe this episode would have been weird regardless. But anyway, there's a lot of gaps to fill in there, but I think that it has the bones for a strong Doctor Who Christmas special. It checks a lot of boxes. You get to imply that the family that he helps might be Jesus's, or that one of the many families he helps, because the jail that they get thrown into could be like a holding pen, like a whole bunch of people. I don't know. Where was I? Oh yeah, I gotta dig around here to get more concrete powder. We are just chipping away at this wall, making plenty of progress. This is one of those tasks where I've had it in my queue forever. Like, I knew I needed to do this to make this work. Because, like, these linkages between the outer wall and the center of the castle are actually really important gameplay-wise. And it was going to look really problematic, and it was going to be a big problem. Also, this is letting me reclaim a ton of stone brick that I'm going to be able to use elsewhere in this project. So that's nice as well. I'm not being especially careful about retrieving every single block, but on the whole, as long as I get down there every few minutes to pick things up, we should be pretty okay. I'm pretty happy to take care of this. So, let's go ahead. I'm trying to think if I have any other terrible ideas. Well, if you were going to do, like, a Doctor Who special about, like, another holiday, like, I don't know what you would do. Like, because they've done, like, an Easter special, in quotation marks, before, where, like, he was just eating a chocolate egg at the beginning of the episode, and that's the only way they recognized it was Easter. But they still went out of their way to do that, because they were like, well, we can't have a new Doctor Who come out on Easter and then not, recognize it's Easter. But I don't know if they've really done any, like, Halloween episodes, because the show is always, kind of weird like that. Also, just as a quick side note, I asked my wife when we were driving to this Christmas event, I was like, hey, do you want to hear my idea for a Doctor Who episode? And she immediately changed the subject. And then Corinne is just like, I want to hear it. And I was like, okay, good. So here's what I'm thinking, Corinne. And then she goes, wait, is Doctor Who the show that's too scary for me all the time? And I'm like, it's not too scary for you all the time. And she's like, no, it's the scary show. It has monster. And she starts asking me all these questions to try to figure out if she's thinking of the same show as me. And then eventually she's like, oh, okay, I don't want to hear this. It's like, so you guys get to. Yay. This is my life. You guys fill the void that family never can. Because they have the... Well, that's actually the thing, is it's funny, because, like, if somebody tells me I don't want to hear this, I'm going to be like, okay, well, I'm not going to talk about it then. But you guys don't actually get to stop me personally. You just pause the video and leave, which is better, because I still get to talk, and I still get to feel good about telling my story, even though maybe the analytics on this video are going to show that everybody cashed out already. Is it cashed out or checked out? I think it's checked out. At, like, the grocery. Okay. So let's go ahead and hop down here and grab some of this stuff. Whoops, Ender Pearl. Grab ourselves a few more stacks of blocklings. Filling up our inventory. I think there's a way through here that I can... Yeah. Wow. Do I have more blocks over on this side, too? No, that was all of them. Okay, so we're going to actually make ourselves a quick exit here as well. I still need to work on this stable too, apparently. I keep forgetting about that. Or it's more of a carriage house, and I think it's supposed to be larger than that. That looks too small to be a carriage house, although that might just be because in Minecraft the carriage would have to be huge. But we can scale the whole project up. Also, if you were wondering, this whole castle is a model of Tracy and Laura Hickman's Castle Ravenloft from the i6 Ravenloft module of Dungeons & Dragons. One of the most famous D&D castles ever. So, forgot to mention that at the beginning of the episode. It doesn't have to be a perfect model, but like things like having the wall higher than the interior eye level of the castle really kind of changes the visitor's perspective of what the how the mansion functions. Like, the mansion of the castle is supposed to be elevated above the wall. And having it below the wall there was just kind of a little sad, I felt. So in the interest of getting TFC his present before Christmas, I think I'm just going to prioritize reclaiming the concrete powder right now above properly, like, removing all of the stone brick and getting the wall perfect. Because getting the wall perfect is nice, but getting the present materials is nicer. So, let's go ahead and just kind of run through here and grab all the sand we can. Ooh, we will actually need a walkway for that. Oh, that's not... Wow, lots of poorly placed blocks there. Okay. Good job, Joe Hills. Good job. Place yourself a lot of extra stone bricks until your heart rebels. Everybody loves the chime of jingle bells. Okay, so we're going to go down this side first, grab any concrete powder that might have fallen. Now, some of you guys might be thinking, Joe, if you're just trying to get this concrete powder, wouldn't it be faster to use a torch at the bottom of this wall? Well, I don't want to actually remove the wall, keep in mind. I'm just trying to give it a little bit of a shave. You know, just kind of lower it a little bit. Can I ender pearl over that? I have a feeling the answer is no. So we're going to climb back up this ladder and then go the rest of the way. Also, I'm not sure that I need this while we're tidying. I say tidying exceptionally loosely in this context. But, yeah. We're going to go up here and swing down the other side. Grab whatever concrete powder is left. And then I think it'll be time to head to TFC's base, even if he's online right now. Although we do need to figure out, like, what else we are going to get him. Because just giving him some concrete powder is okay. But it's not like, I don't know, it's not an amazing gift completely by itself. Like, we at least need to have a box and a note, maybe? So let's think about that for a second. Well, we are in the nether and ready to go. Oh, there is a ghast there. So here's what I'm thinking on that. If I go a little bit this way, maybe, and then punch out the wall, I might be able to not... Oh, that's going to put me next to that portal. Dang it. Can I punch out somewhere in between here and not have this go incredibly poorly? Oh, dang it, there's specialty blocks all along the outside. Well, I really don't want that gas to ruin this big fancy thing we have here. Mumbo joined the game. Yay. Oh. Let's go ahead and get some ender pearls. And maybe we can ender pearl, like, sequentially... Whoops. Okay, I'm already breaking stuff. Can I got him. Okay, cool, cool, cool. We did it, guys. Everybody's happy, including me. And here we are. We have arrived safely at TinFoilChef's base. Now, the thing is, this is a little bit of a stealth mission in that, you know, it's Christmas time. So we don't want, like, Santa doesn't just show up at your house and go, Joe, I've got your Christmas stuff here. He, like, sneaks in the chimney with ender pearls at night. So what we need to do is we need to determine where TinFoilChef actually is. Oh, I probably should have used an invisibility potion. But you know what? Hopefully, if TinFoilChef is... I should have checked if he was streaming right now. And then if he was streaming, I'd know where he was. But, you know what? That's okay. We're just going to sneak right in here. I don't think I need to crouch if I can't see his name tag. He can't see mine. Unless he's got, like, really good Optifine and I have a terrible one. Which is also possible. Okay. Here we go. Shipping and receiving. Don't call attention to me, doggies. Last thing I need is attention right now. Merry Christmas. Whoops. Well, I can't spell. Merry Christmas. TinFoilChef. Here's some materials. Here's some supplies for your next modern build. And we're going to go ahead and put these. I didn't really think exactly, like, I didn't plan to do a specific pattern, but I think I have enough light gray concrete powder here. Ooh, well, probably don't want to... that's going to look weird if it's not a full stack, but at least I'll split into a half stack, I guess. And then I'll go ahead and put the nether quartz kind of around here. See how that goes. Maybe like antlers or something. Oh, I'm going to have an odd number of those too. I might split those up like that, so it kind of makes like a reindeer. That's kind of a reindeer. Yep, there we go. Merry Christmas, TinFoilChef. Here's some supplies for your next modern build. Oh. Probably should say, from at Joe Hills. Done. Light it up. Okay. Well, we have successfully snuck in here. Oh no, it's about to get dark. So what we need to do is he's got a portal that we can exit through. I found it last time I was here, under the ground. No idea how to get back to it from above ground, or from the actual nether, which is why I had to take the boat here. Oh, I think it takes me somewhere dangerous. And like out by Asuma's house, maybe? Yeah, it's this weird tunnel thing. Okay. Well, either way, we have been able to put Oh yeah, I'm just gonna be lost forever. This is a good plan. Well, we made it back safely through the nether. I probably should put that fire out up there. I think that was our fault from that gas earlier. You know, well, that's how it's gonna be. We're gonna, like, okay. You know, I say I should do something. I'm gonna do it. Boom. Got it done. Excellent. Well, we got a lot done today. We worked on our fence, we brought TFC some materials he can use to hopefully build something good, but we have one last thing to do, and that is to thank my Patreon sponsor, Mother Yackle, for her $50 monthly donation. You notice there are no mid-roll ads on this video. That's because instead, we are going to read a poem that I wrote that has never been performed publicly before. So, here we go. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. It's like Vegas on your phone, dealers punching holes in songs, discarding them in no order, wary, ever vigilant for a group that tries to work together, evenly rejected as all bums. Have a free drink alone, and another, and a buffet. We have a winner, now regress toward the mean. Trees used to mean something in this country, and I didn't know what they meant, so I stayed quiet. And when hemp won us the war, threaded into lines woven into cargo nets, I didn't know which war, or what we won. Are we winners yet? Can we stop? Until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring.